What's up everyone, Mortal Snow here, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about why Fortnite's not fun and what they could kind of do to improve it. So, Fortnite seem to have this new approach to the game where they give us a new chapter every year, and because they're on such a tight schedule of giving us a new map every year and a new with a new chapter, that means they don't have as much time to work on seasonal events and live events, and that means that the events and stuff and seasonal events and stuff like that we get throughout seasons of that chapter aren't great, obviously, because they're so busy working on a new chapter, because they've got a tight schedule of giving us a new map every year. And after they've finished working on that map and they release the chapter at the end of the year in December, as soon as that chapter comes out, they've got to start work on the next chapter, which means all the updates and stuff we get throughout the seasons in the chapter aren't, that great compared to when we used to get, longer chapters in chapter 1, chapter 2. And you think of like chapter 3, No Sweat summer event, that event suffered a lot because they were working for chapter 4 and getting ready for chapter 4. Fortnite 2022, wasn't that great because they were getting ready for chapter 4, and then when chapter 4 dropped, Winterfest 2022 wasn't that good because they're getting ready for chapter 5, and then Summer Escape wasn't that great because they're getting ready for chapter 5. So if Fortnite are giving us a new map every year, a new chapter every year, that means they're not going to have as much time and effort as they used to put into seasonal events and make seasonal events great, and also live events. Because if you think about it, Fracture was the worst live event we've ever had, and it's also the most recent live event we've had. We haven't had a live event since then because Epic Games are working really hard on Chapter 5 and they don't have enough time to give us like 2 events in the middle of a chapter and the end of the chapter like we had in Chapter 3. Because obviously in Chapter 3 we had Collision and Fracture. Collision was good, but Fracture was terrible because they didn't have enough time to give us 2 solid events that were really good because they were so busy working on the new chapter, which means they only have time to make 1 good event. And that's why they've not given us an event at the middle of this chapter, because they're waiting until just the end of the chapter to give us an event so we can get a really good event rather than having a mid event and a good event. So I feel like Fortnite kind of needs to change their approach to the game in terms of yearly chapters, because I feel like as long as we keep getting yearly chapters, it means seasonal events are going to suffer, major updates are going to suffer and not be as fun. Seasons are not going to be as fun. You think of Chapter 3, even though Chapter 3 was only a year chapter, they did do a lot of stuff well in Chapter 3 they haven't done in Chapter 4, because you think of Chapter 3, all the changes that it gave us was, sprinting, mantling, sliding, zero build. Chapter 4, the only thing we've had is hurdling, but that was actually disabled only a few weeks into the chapter, and it's never returned since. Here we are months later, and it's never returned. It was only in the game for a few weeks of the first few weeks of Chapter 4, and it's never returned. So, I don't know really what's going on there. I feel like Fortnite needs to change their approach to the game. You think of Season 3 we're in right now, the lack of mobility, it's just like, we're not in a good state right now. I think Chapter 4 has by far been the worst chapter. We're already at the midway point, or over halfway, I guess, now, through the chapter, and there hasn't really been that much stuff in this chapter that's made me go, wow. The only 2 times I think I've actually had loads of fun during this chapter was during the Heisted event and the Star Wars Find the Force event. Those are the only 2 times in this chapter that made me go, wow, that's actually kind of cool. I haven't had that feeling any other time in this chapter. None of the seasons have stood out to me that much. Season 1 was mid, Season 2 was mid, and Season 3 so far has been mid. Slow it down a little bit, go back a little bit, and just get back to when they used to give us longer chapters. Chapter 1, Chapter 2. I think we need to get longer chapters, so then they're not on such a tight schedule trying to get a new map every year, so then they can slow down and have more time to work on seasonal events, live events, and seasons and updates throughout those seasons to make them as good as they used to be back in Chapter 1 and 2. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.